Do you ever notice how every trading video feels convincing? Clean charts, perfect entries, calm voice, and somehow every trade works. It almost feels like if you just follow the steps, you should be making $10,000 a day next week. But then you try it, and suddenly nothing works the same. So the question is not, why doesn't it work? The question is, what exactly did you understand? Here is something I had to learn. It wasn't about trading specifically, but it's about how I looked at things. And this is an advice I can give to anyone. Don't be only skeptical about financial gurus that you see online. You should be skeptical of your own conclusions after watching them. Because in trading, simple doesn't mean easy. And more importantly, what is simple, it's not the same for everyone. If I show you the end of a process, it will always look simple because all the confusion has already been removed. A strategy that feels simple to someone who has lived with charts for years, who has seen failure, who has built instinct, that same strategy in the hands of someone new is not simple. It is only presented as simple. Let's take a look at something very common, such as this breakout strategy over here. On the surface, it looks beautiful. It's very straightforward. Price consolidates, a resistance level is formed, a support level below it, and then it breaks. You see a momentum building up and you try to enter. And that's it. It's a beautiful breakout strategy that you can utilize. But life does not happen in bullet points. So what actually happens? Well, what actually happens is it breaks and then it fails. It can break during earnings and it can become unpredictable. It breaks, but there is really no strength behind it. Or maybe it works perfectly, but you decide to exit too early. I will show you that example here. Right over here. Would you have continued taking the momentum or would you have exited here? So, you realize very quickly that you're not dealing with a strategy, you're dealing with uncertainty, with emotion, with timing, with judgment. And you ask yourself, what failed? Was it the strategy? Or was it your ability to stay clear when things were not certain? Because when you watch these videos, you're not just learning, you're experiencing certainty. And certainty is very attractive to the human mind. But what you are seeing is a completed story. It's not a live experience. So what do most people do? They watch. They understand just enough to feel confident. Then they test a little. Just a few examples. Maybe for a few weeks, and then they go into the market. Not because they know, but because they feel like they know. And then the market asks them the question that they were never prepared to answer. And that's where things become very real. This is why simplicity is very important. What simple strategies are necessary because trading is already difficult. If your system is complicated, what you're doing is you're adding more confusion to an already uncertain environment. But a simple system only works if you can stay consistent. And that's especially important when it stops looking simple. That's why my approach became almost quiet. I always start with a higher time frame on the monthly time chart and ask myself a question, is this an uptrend? If not, I don't do anything. And then I either wait or I rely on other stocks. There are many of those that are available for me to trade. I wait for the price to come to a discount. level, such as a nice demand zone. And then I go into the lower time frame to look for a confirmation, and I wait again. I wait not because waiting is comfortable, but because acting without clarity is expensive. And if you have a job, a family, a life outside the charts, you don't have the luxury to constantly adjust and react. So your system must be simple enough that you can return to it without confusion. Because at the end of the day, the edge is not just in the strategy. It is in your ability to follow it when nothing is happening, when it feels boring, and when you're tempted to act. So next time you hear, this is an easy strategy, a beginner's method just for you, high win rate, don't reject it, but do not accept it either. Just look at it carefully and ask, am I seeing reality, or am I seeing something that has been arranged to look simple? Because trading is not about finding something easy. It's about becoming someone who can handle something simple without losing clarity. If this resonates, then good. If not, then question it, because that is exactly how this should work. Thank you all for your attention, and until next time, bye-bye.